What should I consider for the first move in Mate in 4? When you are faced with the question of what to consider for the first move in a Mate in 4 situation, you are stepping into a world of strategy and foresight. The first move is essential, as it sets the stage for the entire sequence leading to checkmate. Here are some key points to keep in mind. First, controlling the center of the board is vital. A strong opening move, like advancing the pawn to e4, allows you to control key squares. This move opens lines for your queen and bishop, which are crucial for delivering quick checkmates. By controlling the center, you also enable efficient development of your pieces and apply pressure on your opponent right from the start. Next, think about developing your pieces with a clear purpose. The first move should help you quickly bring your attacking pieces into play, especially the queen and bishop. For instance, moving the pawn to e4 allows the bishop to come out to c4 and the queen to move to h5 or f3. These squares are often used in rapid mating patterns, like the 4-move checkmate, also known as scholar's mate. Be cautious about moving your queen too early without support. While it may seem tempting to bring the queen out quickly, doing so can be risky. An unsupported queen can become a target for your opponent, wasting valuable time. Instead, your first move should prepare for a safe deployment of the queen later in the game. Consider how your opponent might respond to your first move. It is important to anticipate their defensive options. The goal is to force your opponent into a position where their responses are limited or awkward. This makes it easier for you to follow up with the mating sequence. Creating immediate threats is another important aspect. Your first move should help set up a mating net that your opponent cannot easily escape. For example, starting with the pawn to e4 and then developing the bishop to c4 and the queen to h5 targets the f7 square, which is often a weak point early in the game. Lastly, always take into account the specific position on the board. In Mate in 4 puzzles, the exact layout of pieces can dictate the best first move. Unlike general openings, these puzzles requiring precise calculations to ensure that checkmate cannot be delayed beyond 4 moves. Sometimes, the best first move may be a less obvious move that restricts escape squares or prevents defensive resources. When applying these strategies in Mate in 4 puzzles, start by identifying weaknesses in your opponent's position. Look for exposed king squares or unprotected pieces. Choose a first move that either directly threatens checkmate or limits your opponent's king's mobility. Develop your pieces in a way that supports the mating threat while preventing counterattacks. Finally, calculate possible defensive moves your opponent might try. Ensure your first move keeps the sequence of checkmate intact, regardless of how they respond. By considering these factors, you will be well on your way to mastering the art of Mate in 4 puzzles.